Before we start, everybody please stand for the prayer. Miss Ligan, can you lead the prayer? Good morning, class! Alright, before you take your seats, kindly please pick up some pieces of papers and trashes under your chair. Are you done? Alright, that's great. Secretary of the class, please spread a paper for the attendance. I can see here the beautiful, the gorgeous, and handsome faces that all of you, I guess, you are prepared and excited for a new lesson for today. Am I right? Okay, that's great. But before that, please allow me to introduce first our classroom rules. Everybody read? Is that clear? Very good. Now, let's now proceed to our next activity that we are going to do. So since you are all good, then I am hoping that everybody would still remember our previous lesson. Anybody from the group? Yes, Miss Gaan. Very good. Our previous lesson, it is all about the cases of pronouns. Do you have any clarifications and questions about our previous lesson? Alright, so since there's none, so let us now proceed. Now, before we are going to discuss our new lesson this morning, class, so let's have a game first. Okay, this game, this is what we call the audio okay. Okay, so I guess this is your first time that you heard this kind of game. Alright, so this game, this is what we call audio okay. Now, I have here 4 envelopes. Okay, but before that, I will group you first into 4 groups. Okay, this area for the group 1, 2, 3, and 4. Okay, so the inside of this envelope has a cutting letters, words, or group of words. All you need to do is you need to assemble the words in order for you to get the sound of the word. Now, after assembling all those words, please select 2 representatives to paste your answer on the board. Okay? But before that, the group who will finish the task faster, who will receive points. Now, this is our scoring board to paste all your score, or to tally all your points. The square shape, it is represent to 5 points. Circle to 3 points, and heart shape to 2 points. Okay? So, alright. I will give you 3 minutes to do the task. I need any representative to get your envelope here. Okay? Group 1. Group 2. 3. And 4. Okay, your timer starts now. Now, class, since you did all your best, so I will give you 5 points each group. Okay, very good. So this is now for the group 1. And for the group 2. For the group 3. And of course, for the group 4. Alright. So based on our activity that we did earlier class, what do you think our new lesson this morning? Yes, Muhado. Very good. Our new lesson this morning, it is all about prosodic features of speech. Okay, so but before that, to have a guide of what we need to attain on this lesson, so here's our objectives. Everybody read. Those objectives are attainable, class? Okay, alright, that's great. Okay, group 1, please read the meaning of prosody. Thank you so much, group 1. Now, prosody is the study of the tune and rhythm of speech and how these features contribute to meaning. Did you know, class, when we speak, it has already a tune and rhythm in order for us to understand the meaning on how the person communicates us. Later on, I will discuss to you the 7 prosodic features of speech. Now, the popular prosodic features of speech can change the meaning of the sentence. And here's our 7 prosodic features of speech. Okay, class? Here's our 7 prosodic features of speech. Number 1, volume. Number 2 is projection. 3, pitch. Number 4, stress. 5, intonation. 6 is juncture. And lastly is the speech rate. So we are going to discuss these 7 prosodic features of speech. But before that, let's discuss first what is the volume. Okay, group 4. Can you please read our first prosodic feature? Alright, thank you so much, group 4. Now, volume, this is an increase and loudness of our voice, the way we communicate, especially if we felt or especially if we are angry or frightened. So that's the time that our voice will be increased and loud. So later I will give you an example about the volume. But in written text or words or sentences, the volume would write or it ends like exclamation point. The sentence or word, it will be big letter. And the lastly is it will become italics. And like for example in number 1 here, don't talk, get out. So in that way the person get angry to the person. So at the end here of the sentence, it has exclamation point. So meaning it represents to volume. Second thing here is please go away. So as we observed in our second sentence, it is a big letter. Third is I hate you so much. So I wrote here an italic. Okay, did you get now what is volume? Okay, now based on our sentences or examples that I give to you class, what was the person or the sentence describing for? Yes, Muado. Alright, very good. It is in angry. It is in angry or frightened. Wow, it is angry. Yes, that's great. It is in anger because volume, it increase our voice or it will loud our voice, especially if we are angry or frightened. Now, class, our second prosodic features of speech. This is what we call projection. Now, projection, an ability to make our voice clearly heard at a distance. This is most needed when talking in front of a big audience that we need to speak at the top of our lungs in order to be heard and understood, especially if we don't use a microphone and a loudspeaker. So projection, it is all about on how we are going to speak, on how we are going to deliver our speech in front of so many people in order for them to understand, in order for them to clearly understand of what we are going to say, of what are we going to emphasize on our speech. As a speaker in this area, so we need to speak clearly in order for them to understand easily. So an example of this, or some of the example are orientation. There are some orientations that the speaker did not use microphone or a loudspeaker. So especially if that is his or her skills, that he did not using anything to deliver his speech in front of so many people. So orientation, example of that. And of course, mass gatherings. So based on my observation, there's a lot of mass gatherings that they did not use as what I have said earlier, microphone or a loudspeaker because they are confident or they felt comfortable without using those materials, and they deliver their speech into clearly. Okay, that is projections all about. You are going to an ability to make our voice clearly heard at the distance, even if our audience is at a distance. So as a speaker, we need to speak clearly in order for them to understand. That is projections on how we are going to speak out our sentence or deliver our speech in order for them to understand clearly. So let's proceed now to number 3. Everybody please read. Alright, thank you so much. Now our number 3 prosodic features of speech, this is what we call the pitch. Okay, is sometimes used interchangeably with intonation. However, pitch and intonation are two different things. So what are the difference between the two? Later on, we will know this one. Okay, when it comes to pitch, it has a frequency. When we talk about frequency, it has a lowness or highness frequency of one's voice. We mean pitch. Like for example, based on our example here about pitch, so for example, we speak in a lower pitch when we tired or have a problem. So if we have a problem, so meaning we don't have any energy to express our speech, our thoughts, and it will tends to a lowest or low frequency. Now, when we are happy, excited, or surprised, so we speak a higher pitch that we normally do. So in that way, our frequency, it will high because you're excited, you are happy. And here's an example of our high pitch or highness frequency. Number 1, yes, I passed the second semester. So in that way, the person was happy or excited because he or she passed the second semester. Second is, I lost my job. So in that way, you are sad. That way, the frequency of your pitch, it will be low frequency. Okay, so that's our pitch prosodic features of speech. Now let us now proceed to next prosodic features of speech. Number 4 prosodics of speech, we have stress. Okay, stress, also called emphasis, is one of the easiest prosodic features to use and recognize in language or in spoken language. Easy as it may seem, stressing words correctly takes practice and familiarization. Two-syllable words are probably the easiest as we only have one part to emphasize. But for longer words, there are primary stress syllable and slightly stressed one. Okay, here's an example in our first syllable of stress. So we have here present. So we stress here from the present. Second is export. So we stress here from export. How about the second syllable of stress? So here's our example. Decide. Okay, very good. So we stress here from side. Decide. And here also we have begin. So we stress from begin. Alright, so this is what we call stress. So that's it. That is the stress. Now group 3. Can you read what is intonation? Yes, group 3. Okay, thank you so much, group 3. Intonation known as the rising and falling of our voice at the end of the sentence. So when we speak. So given this, intonation is sometimes referred to as the music of a language. The rise and fall of our voice is commonly observed in asking questions or using tag questions. Questions answerable by yes or no are spoken rising intonation, while WH questions are spoken in falling intonations. Now here's our examples of rising intonations, like, are you okay? So in that way, your intonation, it will be rising because you are using the questions that answerable by yes or no. Now here's the example of falling intonation. So we have, what is your name? So in that way, low intonation because you are using the WH question. We have juncture. Okay, group 2, please read what is juncture. Okay, thank you so much. Now juncture enables the hearer to detect the word or phrase, the word or phrase boundary. So proper juncture is necessary in speech to listeners in order for them to not misunderstood or misinterpret the words we say. So for different, the need to say correctly, and we should phrase ice cream or an ice cream. So the juncture this is the way on how we are going to say or speak out the words correctly in order to the listeners did not misinterpret or misunderstood. So like for example here, like the phrase ice cream and ice cream. So in that way, you are going to use that word properly in order, or pronounce it properly in order for the listeners not confused and not misunderstood based of the phrase or word that you use. And here's an example in the juncture. Okay, an example of juncture is the corner of the street where two streets meet, a point in time, especially one requiring decision to be made. Another instances we have bear, beer, and also see. So in that way, you are going to pronounce the word or use the word or phrase correctly in order for the listeners not misunderstood or misinterpret on what word would you describing for. Our last procedure features of speech. So we have speech rate. Everybody read. Okay, thank you so much. Now, speech rate, as its name suggests, it means the speed we apply when saying a sentence. The speech rate indicates several attitudes or situations. We tend to speak faster when we are in hurry or nervous than normal. In contrast, we speak slowly if we careful not to lose with our train of thought. Okay, the example of speech rate we have basketball announcer described as an exciting ball game in a rapid fashion. So it is a speech rate because it means the speed that the announcer applied during the time, like saying the sentence as a interesting or exciting moments. Those are our 7 prosodic features of speech. Now class, do you have any questions and clarifications? Alright, so since there's none, so let us now proceed. So take a look at these sentences, class. We are going to define, or we are going to identify the 7 prosodic features of speech based on our sentences here that I wrote. So number 1, what is your name? So what is prosodic? Prosodic is that? Very good. That is intonation, because or you are using the WH question, meaning that is a falling or that is a low frequency of your intonation of your voice. Second, I don't need your help. Go away. I don't need your help. Go away. Okay, what do you think? Very good. It is volume. Why? Because it ends exclamation point. Very good. Next, number 3. Jessa delivered her speech in the school orientation without using microphone. What do you think is this? Alright, projection. Because Jessa delivered her speech without using microphone. She delivered her speech clearly in front of many people in the orientation. That's great. Good job. Number 4, we have I presented my output in the middle of my class. Okay, what do you think from the word presented? Presented. Very good. That is stress. Okay, number 5. The host described the candidates with exciting voice. What do you think is this? Very good. It is speech rate. Number 6, we have the child read the words son and son with defining the differences of them. What do you think from the word son and son? Very good. That is the juncture. Number 7 is our last sentences here. Yes, we made it. So what do you think? Wow, very good. It is a pitch because you feel excited. You are happy. The frequency of your voice, or the frequency that they are using here, is a high frequency. Okay, at this time, let's have a drill. The same group will do. I have here an envelope, and inside of this envelope has instructions on what we are going to do. Okay, you're in your representative, group 1, 2, group 1, yes. Group 2, 3, and 4. Instruction is you are going to make your own example about those 7 prosodic features of speech. The group will finish the task faster. They will receive a points. Okay? Okay. I will give you 2 minutes to do the task. Your timer starts now. Alright, thank you so much for your cooperation, but the group will finish the task faster is the group 1. So they will receive 5 points. For 2 points, the group 3. And of course, for the 2 points, we have the group 2 and group 4. Okay, thank you so much for your effort, did your best, and all your examples are correct. Okay, class, let's have another group activity. So, I have again another envelopes here. Inside of this envelope is I wrote the meaning of the 7 prosodic features of speech. All you have to do is to supply the correct answer or the correct sentence based on what I wrote here. And all you need to do is to read and understand the instructions or the directions that I wrote here. Okay, so group 1, group 2, group 3, and 4. Okay, all you need to do is to supply the sentence that I wrote on that in the inside of the envelope. I will give you 3 minutes to do the task. Your timer starts now. Good job, everyone, because all of you get the correct answer. But because of that, I will give you perfect score. So for the group 1, group 2, group 3, and group 4. Alright, so, but before we proceed to our next activity, I will ask you first, what is the importance of 7 prosodic features of speech in our daily living? Anybody from the group? Yes, Patatag. Very good. Let's give him a birthday clap. Very good. Thank you so much, everyone, because you did your best, and I think and I guess you understand of our new lesson this morning. But before that, may I ask Asoy to enumerate the 7 prosodic features of speech. Alright, thank you so much, Miss Asoy. I think you are all ready for a quiz. Alright, that's good to hear that. Okay, prepare 1 sheet of paper and read the directions properly in order for you to do the task. I will give you 5 minutes to do the task. Your timer starts now. Okay, time is up. Now let us going to count off your score here and to proclaim who is the winner for today's lesson activities that we did. Okay, so from the group 1, they have 5, 10, 15. So they got 15. When the number group 2, they got 12. For the group 3, they got 13. And for the group 4, they got 12. So we have tied the group 2 and the group 4. And the winner is the group 1. Okay, class, for your assignment, in a 1 sheet of paper, write at least 250 to 300 words about the importance of 7 prosodic features of speech in our daily living. You may use extra sheet if needed. Okay, that's all for today. Goodbye, class. Goodbye. Thank you.